Okay, so to continue my homage to November, I'm showing you my newly cleaned out front hall closet. And I'm going to tell you what I did. So every November, my church has a clothing drive. It's huge clothing drive. They've been having it for like 40 years now, every Thanksgiving weekend. So I got in the habit of every November trying to clean out closets. Now, some years I don't do very much. Other years I can go deeper into things and really clean things up. This closet had been neglected for a couple of years. So it was in bad shape before. I don't have a before picture. Anyway, I'll just tell you what I did. The top of this was so full of junk, it kept falling down. Stuff just kept sliding off. So I got rid of a lot of junk. The giveaway, there's some giveaway right there. And the Indian corn that I mentioned in a previous video that I usually hang on my door, but I got a wreath this year. I didn't know that it would attract mice, but there actually were mice. I saw the droppings and they had chewed up the Indian corn that was like loosely in a plastic bag stuck up here on the shelf under a load of junk. So that kind of creeped me out. So I had to get up here on a footstool and just clean everything really thoroughly. And now what's up here, I found this little basket. I've got 2 working umbrellas. I had to throw away 2 that were broken. I have 2 hats that we hardly ever wear, but they're kind of dress-up hats. It's a hat for me. This is a hat that my husband, wears sometimes. And we don't really wear them very much, but it's kind of fun to have them. So they're up there. And then the other stuff up here is a camera tripod, and then there's some hiking sticks back here. So that's all that's up there right now. Now what's usually up there in the back there, in the way back there, is my Advent calendar. So there it is in its box. I was too lazy to put it back up there. I already got it out, so. All right, and then I went through coats, and I thought this was my son's coat, but he says it isn't. I don't know how this coat appeared in our closet. This happens to us. Mysterious coats just appear. So I might wind up giving this coat away, unless I can find a family member that wants it. This is my husband's trench coat that he wears when he's got a suit in the winter time. He's got a suit on. And then he's got a light jacket, which is kind of stained, and I think he has other jackets. I don't know if we're going to keep that one. This is his heavy winter jacket. This is his light rain jacket. And this is my good coat that it's a little bit dirty, that I wear. It's heavy. This is my raincoat, which I love because I have to walk the dog so much, and it rains a lot here. And this is made from recycled water bottles, and I've had it for years, and it's still snow white, and it really protects you from the rain. It was such a good investment. Then this is my Just jacket, the jacket I wear. And then this is, I'm so sad that I forgot about this. It was way in the back. This is this beautiful poncho that my husband gave me years ago, and I usually wear it in the fall, and I didn't this fall so far. Right now it's November 16th, no, 17th, November 17th. Then this is my a beautiful woolen cloak that I've had for 33 years, something like that. And I always wear this for Christmas. That's what I wear to Christmas Mass. And then this is a jacket that I got for a grandson last year, but he rejected it. So I'm giving it to another grandson. This is a coat that I'm not sure where it came from, but I'm going to give this to my daughter. She said she could use a coat. And then we're going to try this on the little guy and see if it still fits him. If not, I'll give it away. So you can see back there, I have a little Easter hanging for the front door for Easter. Okay, and then down at the bottom, these are my grandson who lives with us shoes. And then this is my husband's aquarium cleaning stuff right here, because he has a saltwater aquarium in the living room. Those are his snow boots. And then back there is a extra booster seat when grandkids come over. So that's my nice clean closet. I feel really good about it, and that's what I try to do in November. Hello, it's me. I'm vlogging some more in my homage to November, and so I'm going to talk a little bit about Thanksgiving preparations. There's Kermit. He says hello. So, of course, if you host Thanksgiving dinner, and I'm in the United States and I have been hosting it for many, many years for the family, part of November is getting ready for Thanksgiving, and a lot of that entails cleaning up the house, but also planning the meal and figuring out what you're going to do. I brought all this stuff upstairs because I didn't have any privacy down in the kitchen. But just this morning, it's Sunday now, the Sunday before Thanksgiving, which is on Thursday, I got it together about who's bringing what to the dinner. So my husband and I are going to do the turkeys. My husband always grills, or not grills, rotisseries a turkey, and it's so good. He puts like hickory chips under, and it's always so delicious and really moist. And so I'm looking forward to that. But then I also have a bigger turkey that's a traditional roast turkey, and I'm gonna stuff it because I have to have in-bird stuffing for Thanksgiving. Otherwise, it's not meaningful to me. So, but I do the gluten-free stuff. So I got this. I'm not making my own. I got this stuffing mix. And that's what I'm going to stuff the bird with. And then, let's see, gluten-free stuffing, that's me. Cranberry sauce. I usually make my own cranberry sauce, but I'm feeling so lazy this year, so I bought some. This was on sale, so I got a couple of jars of that. And then I'm going to try today, I'm going to try and make gluten-free pumpkin bread. I've never done this before, but I'm going to try to figure it out. I'm really not a good baker. I don't have a lot of confidence, but I'm using this. I really like the King Arthur gluten-free stuff. I'm going to use this muffin mix and, some of this to make a pumpkin bread, and then I'm going to freeze it for dessert. And then I also want to make a gluten-free pumpkin pie. I bought a gluten-free crust. It's in the freezer. And I have to make it dairy-free and nut-free as well for my daughter. But I think I know what to do. Instead of using evaporated milk, I'm going to use this. So it probably won't taste like a traditional pumpkin pie, and I'm out of pumpkin pie spice. I have to go get that. And then, let's see, I'm going to go buy just some packaged, bags of greens, and we're going to have a tossed green salad and pecan pie. We bought, they were having a pie sale at our church, so we bought a pecan pie. We're going to save that for Thanksgiving. And then my sister-in-law is doing the sweet potatoes. I think she's just going to roast them. And then she's making some kind of a baked, kind of mashed or acorn squash with, she said, with olive oil and maple syrup. And then she's going to bring a fruit salad, and she's going to bring rolls. And I think her husband wants to make an apple pie, so he's bringing an apple pie. And then my daughter is going to make mashed potatoes, and she's going to make the regular stuffing with the gluten, just baked in the oven. And then she's going to make the gravy, and she's going to bring some kind of a dessert. And she doesn't like doing gluten-free stuff, so she does all the gluten stuff when we have family stuff. And then we're going to have wine because we have a lot of wine. We gave my husband a subscription to this dry wind wine, something like that, and it has no pesticides. Really good wines, and the vineyards use regenerative, organic practices. But he stopped drinking because of his health issues. He has stopped drinking alcohol. So we don't drink very often. And so we have all these bottles of wine that we've been getting. We only get 4 a month. I think, 4 a month. But they've been building up. So we're going to have wine, and we're going to have apple cider. I think I'm going to warm that up in the slow cooker. Of course, water to drink, and then coffee and tea for afterwards. And I'm making a list of stuff I need to buy. I think I'm going to break down, just do the paper napkins, nice paper napkins for the Thanksgiving dinner. All right, so that is what I'm thinking about. I'm planning on the meal, trying to figure out how to get things done between now and then. So yeah, so every November, this is what I do. Good morning. It is, as you can see, Tuesday, November 21st, 2023. And this is the feast or the solemnity, not sure of the actual name of the presentation of the Blessed Virgin Mary. And I'm about to start praying the Psalms here. And then when I'm done with that, I'm going to try to read some more of The Seven-Story Mountain. I am, oh, just closed that book by accident. I'm not reading this as quickly as I would like. I'm not having an easy reading time right now. I'm very distracted. But one thing I did yesterday was I got off Instagram because I'd just been on it too much. And it was really destroying my focus and just too many disturbing things. So I did get off of that, and I think that was a healthy thing to do. So anyway, I'm waiting for my kettle to boil so I can have some coffee, and then I'm going to sit down and do some praying and some reading. Hello everyone, this is Faith at Faith and Books. It's early in the morning. I'm out walking my dog. Oh my gosh, the bags under my eyes are terrible. Anyway, I just thought I would talk quickly about some books because I've been vlogging a little bit, and so I think I'm just going to put it all together and put it up sort of as a Thanksgiving thing. Not that I'm going to capture Thanksgiving because I'm going to be too busy right before Thanksgiving getting everything ready. But oh my gosh, it looked terrible. Anyway, so I have been reading, I just finished reading a little bit of Thomas Merton's The Seven-Story Mountain, and it was quite exciting because he lists the books that, well, he's always talking about the books. He was very intellectual. My dog just saw 2 squirrels, and he's really excited. Anyway, he lists the books that really led him towards his conversion. And the first one was Etienne Gilson's The History of Medieval Philosophy. I think that was it. And I'd heard that name before. And then the second was The Imitation of Christ. That might be by Anonymous, not sure. Which was recommended to him to read by a Hindu monk. Told him to read that. And then the third one was Art and Scholasticism, because he wanted to be a literature professor, and so he was at Columbia University, and he was doing his thesis was Nature and Art in William Blake. And so in his research, he found this book by Jacques Maritain, who was a French kind of mid-century, last century writer, very prolific philosopher, who wrote this, a Catholic theologian actually, who wrote this book on art and scholasticism. Scholasticism is sort of, Thomas Aquinas was sort of the pinnacle of scholasticism, that type of logic. Anyway, so I knew we had books by Jacques Maritain because my grandfather really loved him, and I have a lot of my grandfather's books, so I looked, and I have a few books by him, but not the one that Merton mentions. But I thought it would be neat to try to read those 3 books that really sort of were linchpins in his conversion. They're probably way too intellectual for me, but it would be neat to at least attempt them. So that was one thing I wanted to talk about. I'm enjoying that book, even though I'm reading it slower than I wanted to. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, I'm back inside. Had to scoop poop. That's what interrupted me. And now we're back in, and it was even snow flurrying out. And we saw these 2 hawks. Mint, my beagle, was really arrested by them. 2 hawks came flying over us, like crying, and landed in the trees, the bare trees right above us, which is something I love about November. The trees are bare, and you can see all the birds' nests and the squirrels' nests, and you can see the birds more clearly. And I always appreciate that about November, when when the leaves fall off the trees. Anyway, the other thing that I want to talk about, or the other book, is that I finished reading Dear Folk. Oh, no, not Dear Folk. I always want to call it that. It's Poor Folk by Fyodor Dostoevsky. And it was a shorter book. Maybe it's a novella. And this was part of a rating project Gutenberg. I'm going to let my dog outside. It was part of rating project Gutenberg, which was spearheaded by Do you want to say hi? Mint, wait, where are you? I can't get you. Mint, say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Anyway, let me put him outside. Come on, we're going outside. Just don't howl. He gets out there, and we have so many critters out there, and he starts howling at them. Don't do that, okay? Just go out and run around and enjoy yourself. Okay. Anyway, so Poor Folk by Dostoevsky. This is part of Reading Project Gutenberg. It was the group read, and I really enjoyed it. It was one of the few books I really felt like I could focus on because I've just had terrible focus the last couple of weeks. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed the humor. It had the best description in it of late fall and just the poignancy of late fall. It was just so beautiful. And it was about this really realistic relationship, except it was an odd relationship. It's an epistolatory novel, and you come in the middle. What is that? In media res. And so you don't quite know what's going on or what the circumstances are. But it's this older man named Makar, who's very, very poor, and he's fallen in love with this young woman who lives kind of next door or very near him. He can look out and see her window. And she's very poor as well. And their letters are wonderful because they're just so full of confidences to each other and endearments, and they really care about each other, and they're both struggling with their poverty. And all sorts of things happen, and it doesn't end happily. It's a very poignant ending. But I enjoyed it a lot, and I'm looking forward to the discussion, which I think is on Sunday the 26th. There's some kind of Zoom discussion. So that book I managed to finish. I'm trying to finish The Seven-Story Mountain this week, and then after Thanksgiving, I'm going to start The Johnstown Flood by David McCullough as a buddy read with Linda Jo Martin. So, God willing. So, all right. So that is all I'm going to say now before Thanksgiving. I might have a couple of shots of the Thanksgiving table or something, and then I'm going to put this whole little vloggy thing together and put it up. So, all right. So happy Thanksgiving to those who celebrate, and I will talk to you later. Happy reading. Okay, so it's early in the morning on Wednesday, right, the day before Thanksgiving, and it's the feast of Saint Cecilia, and she's the patron saint of music. So I've decided that I'm going to listen to hymns and music all day today. I'm going to try and listen to it as much as I can. I usually just listen to music in the car when I'm driving around, and I tend to listen to classical music. But I'm going to try and put together a Spotify playlist. I was looking at Spotify yesterday because I'm looking for my Advent hymn playlist, getting ready for Advent, which is starting December 3rd. And then I was just reminded of all this because it's St. Cecilia's feast day. It's a very misty morning. Ooh. Hello again, it's the next day. Walking my dog again. I look awful. I really don't care how I look, do I? When I get on the camera. It's always a little bit of a humiliation. But anyway, I thought I would talk again about this Seven-Story Mountain book that I'm reading by Thomas Merton. And he's converted to Catholicism now, but he didn't think about what to do afterwards. So he had like this great, kind of emotional, spiritual pinnacle when he finally decided to convert, and then he studied, and then he got baptized. But he didn't have any follow-up, and he sort of just fell back into his sinful ways. He's only 23. He's very young, and he's very, very hard on himself. He's very aware of his sinfulness, and he doesn't ever exactly say what he does, but you get the feeling that he's drinking and carousing and womanizing a lot. But he doesn't really go into it. He just talks about, he just feels so intensely guilty, so sinful. And even before he converted, when he was just thinking about it, he was thinking about the priesthood. But he thought, oh, that's silly. First let me get baptized and become a Catholic before I even think about that. which was probably sensible, but then he lost, once he buried that idea, he kind of lost momentum, and he's sort of realizing that he's the type of person that it's got to be all or nothing, and that if he doesn't have some really high goal that he has to work towards and that will really just, structure his whole life, he's never gonna be able to be faithful. Like it's got to be this intense commitment, or he's just not going to be able to do it at all. So that's where I am right now. I'm almost finished with part 2. I might finish it tonight. Well, we'll see, because it's the day before Thanksgiving and I have a lot of stuff to do. But we'll see. I'm not going to be finished in time. I'm going to hopefully start up McCullough's Johnstown Flood tomorrow. So I'm going to have an overlap of probably a week where I'm reading both books at the same time. I've kind of given up on my World War I book. I might have mentioned this before. I don't think that's going to happen right now. So I'm going to flip this camera around and show you how misty it is by the pond. Hold on, my dog keeps tugging. I don't know if you can even see. Oh, the dog keeps pulling. It's going to be a terrible, terrible video. Uh-oh.